Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mark Bruner, the CEO of Lost Soldier Oil and Gas. I'm here in Casper, Wyoming. Actually, I left really early in the morning from Canada to get down here because one of the things that's going to happen very, very soon is that we're going to be spudding our Niobrara well that we're going to be drilling out in the Wild Mustang unit. And so we're out here in the pipe yard where I wanted to explain and introduce Earl Sanford, who's going to explain the pipe that we have, the value that it is, and it's an incredible investment that we made, and it's worth pretty much twice what we paid for it. So we think it's worth $15 to $20 million. So anyway, let me introduce Earl Sanford. And Earl, why don't you tell them about the pipe program and what we're going to be doing with this pipe?
Yeah, everybody, the pipe that you'll be seeing here shortly that's behind us and in front of us and everything is all the pipe that we're going to be putting into the Niobrara deep well. We'll be starting off with some fairly good-sized pipe. We're going to start off with the 20-inch casing, and we'll go from 20-inch down to 16, down to 13 3/8, and then down to 9 5/8 in the hole, and then we'll be running from 9 5/8, we'll be running 7-inch inside of that. So all the pipe is here to be done. Right now, the value of that pipe when it was first purchased was right at about $7.5 million. And because of steel prices and obviously what went on with the invasion from Russia, shut down a lot of the pipe industry that was coming out of the Ukraine. And because of that, and because of steel prices, the steel that you see around you now has over doubled in those costs. And because of that, just the value of what is going to be run in the ground to drill that deep well, it's going to add value to the well considerable because of what the steel cost is. But we'll be drilling this once we start, where we'll be running 30-inch, then we'll be dropping down to 20 and on down, like I said, to where we end up with the production string of 5.5-inch. Will be the production string, which will come all the way back to surface. That'll be what we produce the well through. We're going to have some more video too, not just of the pipe and what's going on with what we're going to be doing with the pipe. It's just exactly like what you can vision a mine. When we do this, if you're mining a hole through the earth, you got to put structural support so you don't have cave-ins and drops. That's where you hear about a cave-in in a coal mine or whatever. It's because the structure inside collapsed. Same thing when you're drilling the well. What we're doing is we're casing, so what we're doing is putting steel wall between us and Mother Nature. And so every so often we got to drop down in size as we go, mainly because of weight and drilling times, because when you're drilling a huge hole that size, you drop your casing size to make your penetration rate faster. And if you tried to drill a well with the casing sizes we have, you could be looking at a 2-year well, where this well, when we get it down, we'll probably have a total of probably just shy of 2 months involved in just the drilling side. That's not any time changing out the bits or anything else. That's just actual on bottom drilling size time that we're talking about. So I'll give this over to Denny now.
My name's Danny Meagle, Chief Engineer with Lost Soldier Oil and Gas. Yasik, if you can give a quick pan to show everybody the amount of pipe here on location. Every single stick of pipe that you see here, both on this side of the road and on the other side of the road, all this pipe goes into one well. That's what Earl's been talking about here. It takes this amount of structural steel encasing just to drill one well. Okay, this is the 13 3/8. This casing will be set at roughly 6,000 feet. And here's a regular iPhone. You can see how big this pipe is. This is just the medium-sized pipe. We'll get to some of the bigger stuff here later. But each joint that you see here, laying on the racks, here and in the racks You can see the pipe there behind us. Josik, if you could pan out that. Each one of these joints weighs 3,000 pounds, 1.5 tons each. So you pick up all this pipe, this whole string is going to weigh 800 to 900,000 pounds. That's why we have to have the size rigs that we have to drill these wells. One of the first strings of the pipe that's going to go in the hole is the 20-inch OD. This is an iPhone 14. You can see how big this 20-inch is. And you can see everything, all this big pipe that you see here. And if you could pan on around, all this is one string. It goes in one well. So, and this is, we have to have this at the surface to keep the hole from collapsing.
Yeah, I think, Denny, one of the things that I also wanted to mention is that we, just to be sure that everything was engineered properly, we gave all the data that we've had on the wells we've drilled so far with the idea and understanding that we're going to drill a deep well to be able to go down deeper and look at the basin center gas accumulation, which is all the way through the Niobrara, which is what we're going to do. They're the ones that recommended this casing program that we've purchased, and we've had an inventory that now we're ready to use to drill this deep well. Isn't that correct?
That is correct. Viking Engineering has done they have engineered casing strings all over the world, onshore, offshore, sweet wells, sour wells, H2S. So I have the utmost confidence in the pipe that you see out here that it is strong enough and will handle almost anything that we will encounter.
I will say this, I can remember back when we had our meeting with Viking, and they said this is one of the biggest high pressure deals they've ever seen, okay? And it's very special to be able to find something like this. And that's why the engineering and the expense that we've gone to buy the right casing to make sure that everything is safe, it's engineered properly, and we'll be able to go and produce whatever we need to produce without any hiccups. I think that's right. Is that not true?
Those are all correct.
Okay, all right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to do another video tomorrow to talk about what's going to be happening next. We'll be Earl and all of us will be talking about spudding the well. We're going to be moving the rig out there. There's a whole series of things we're going to talk about tomorrow to get ready to be able to drill this deep well. We're very, very excited. We've waited a long time for this, and so have our investors. So look forward to talking to you tomorrow and give you more detail of what's happening. Thanks.